This edition of Mac Voices is sponsored by Smile, the makers of world-class software like PDF Pen for Mac, PDF Pen Pro for Mac, PDF Pen for iPhone and iPad, PDF Pen Scan Plus for iPhone and iPad, Text Expander for Mac, and Text Expander for iPhone and iPad. Learn more about all their great products at smilesoftware.com. Welcome to Mac Voices. This is the talk of the Apple community, and I'm Chuck Joyner. Folks, this is an interview I always look forward to every year. Sometimes I get to do it a couple times a year, but this is the one that's the most fun because we're going to talk about the SuperMeet in Las Vegas at NAB, the National Association of Broadcasters show. And with us are the two organizers of the SuperMeet, Mr. Dan Berube. Dan, welcome.
Hello there. I'm reporting live from Jupiter Hall.
Yeah, you look like you're in a spaceship or something, yeah.
Yeah, what is that? What is that blue thing in the back?
Yeah. It's a installation, art installation.
That's cool.
And of course, Mr. Mike Horton.
Tilt the camera up so we can actually see it. It's really kind of neat.
Mr. Mike Horton, the other organizer.
There it is.
Mike.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's always great to have you.
Yes, I'm in Chatsworth where it's raining like crazy, and which we do need the rain, but the people up north in Ventura and Santa Barbara, they don't need the rain, but we certainly need it. And but it's a little bit too much right now, like you guys with the snow.
Yeah, I got 11 inches of snow last night, so right there with you.
We were supposed to get 8 inches, and it never happened.
Yeah,
we totally missed it.
Oh, it did? Oh, cool.
But last week we got 22 inches.
Yeah,
go figure.
Yeah, but none of that matters.
Is it still there, Dan? Is it on the ground still?
It's still on the ground, absolutely.
But none of that matters because we're all going to be heading to Las Vegas here in just a few weeks. And one of the big attractions.
That was going to be my first question. Are you going to be going this year?
Of course.
Okay, all right. Yeah, because it wouldn't be the same without you.
I appreciate that.
So,
but yes,
you with a microphone going around to table sponsors and interviewing. By the way, well, we'll talk about this later, but we can talk about it now. We're going to have a lot of new sponsors and companies that you've never even heard of that you're really going to want to talk to.
Great.
And in fact, I want to talk to them. If we didn't have to, put on a show, to actually go out in the vendor area and actually talk to some of these people. But that's really going to be cool this year because we have maybe 5 or 6 new sponsors, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm really glad that Chuck is going because, Mike, weren't we going to call this now the Las Vegas Chuck Joyner Meet?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Let's go back to marketing and talk about this.
Actually, we'll just put Chuck on stage and let him introduce the presenters while we go to the green room and drink wine.
Yeah, that'll work. Yes, I'm your guest host for the evening. Oh man,
back at the Rio, and we're excited. They've always been good to us, and last year we had a little snafu. Well, SuperMeets aren't SuperMeets without some sort of snafu. But
yeah, do you remember that last year, Chuck? We were in the Pavilion Ballroom until about 2 weeks or a week and a half before the SuperMeet, when they called us up and they go, "We're moving you to another room." What? We spent the last week and a half trying to make that room work, and so we had those two. So this year we're back in that same room because it ended up working really well, but it took us forever to make it work because now we have these 2 big giant screens, like we did last year. One on the left and one on the right because it's a horizontal room, not the long ballrooms that we're usually in, and people kind of liked it. I had the tendency to look back and forth like a tennis match, even though it's the same image. But people, I guess, got used to it really quick because it's really kind of fun. There's 2 big, huge screens, and the audio system was awesome.
Yeah, and the seating's better. It's more intimate because the people.
Yeah, it's more intimate.
Yeah.
So
we love it. Now we should say that Dan is giving us the interview from a location where he's working. So obviously the conditions are not ideal, but it was the only time we could all get together. And I definitely wanted to talk to you too about what's coming with the SuperMeet. And so maybe let's change it up a little bit. Mike, you were saying that we have new table sponsors. That's exciting because that for me, of course, is always one of the fun things is to walk around and get to talk to these vendors about the gear and the software that they're offering.
Yeah, I'm just going down the list, seeing to talk about the new one. Oh, what's really cool? One of our old sponsors is back for the first time in a few years. Autodesk. that was a real surprise. They just called us up last week or something like that, and so they're going to be back, and we're real excited about that because we haven't seen these people forever, and so they're going to be there. And this company called Codex. Now, I had never heard of them, but apparently a lot of people had. They're the people that pretty much invented the ProRes codec and gave it to Apple, sold it to Apple.
Wow.
And but they've come out with this product called ColorSynth, which is a color console board that they're going to be debuting at the SuperMeet, and along with this color plugin for I think Final Cut Pro. I'm not sure, but it's pretty high end stuff for colorists. And anyway, they're going to be there. I mean, this is kind of a little bit different for them. They're like a company that does really high-end stuff in post-production, and they're called Codex, C-O-D-E-X. And let's see, I don't want to do all the talking. Dan, I can't. Where's the next one? Oh,
this year we got plenty of Final Cut with us.
yeah, I mean, I think these guys are Final Cut. Well, they're not. I mean, they're big high-end post-production people, but
the people that are speaking on stage, even though we can't really talk about what they're going to talk about yet, will have some nice breadth of Final Cut in it. So with Frame.io, we'll see. We still have that Bradley preview, right?
What you probably are familiar with, that Off the Tracks documentary on Final Cut Pro. Bradley Olson did it. Anyway, we're going to show a teaser during the first half of the show on those two big giant screens, which was what, quite frankly, these kinds of movies should be seen in, instead of watching it on your computer or airplaying it to your TV. So that's going to be really cool. So there'll be a lot of Final Cut users excited about that. Now, here's a really cool company, and this is Marc-Andre, Dan Lander.
Perfect.
They're out of Montreal, and what they are, they're a cloud company. Well, that do professional audio mastering. In other words, you can take your file and just give it to them in the cloud, and they'll instantly mix it and master it for you.
I don't believe it.
It does. It says right there on the right there on the screen. It says that's what they do, and it's actually somewhat affordable. And so I'm really interested in talking to Mark about that, who we haven't seen. He used to work for Autodesk. And he says this thing is just kick-ass. And so we're really looking forward to seeing him, learning more about that, Lander. And what else? What other new company?
Mark used to be with one of the FCPUGs that were out there in Canada. So was it Toronto or Montreal?
Montreal, yeah.
So that's cool.
We're Master the Workflow. Where is Master the Workflow? It's somewhere around here. I can't even find the codec. Did something happen to it? Oh, there it is. It's right under Lander. Yeah, Master the Workflow. It's if you want to, if you're interested in becoming an assistant editor in Hollywood, it's an online class. It's the first time ever that you can learn to be an assistant editor online, and they'll teach you everything you need to know to be the consummate assistant editor. Normally, you would have had to gone to classes in whatever city you are, and most likely they didn't have a class. You would have to go to New York. You'd have to go to Hollywood. Now it's online, and so they're going to be there. And so that's going to be really interesting. So anybody who's interested in coming to Hollywood to become an assistant film editor, this is the people to talk to.
And I've been doing a little homework myself. I think Drobo is going to be back. I believe Digital Anarchy is going to be back.
Yep. And Digital Anarchy is going to be showing a video, part of our short time stage time thing that we call. And it's going to be on their new product called Transcriptive, which transcribes everything that we're doing right now. And they actually demoed it at my local user group about a month ago, and it's pretty danged impressive. And so Jim will be there showing that video, and it's one of like several new transcription products that people are using, especially video editors. And this is one that has a few more features than the other ones, and it's really quite impressive, and they're going to show a video on that. And Pond 5 for the first time is going to be there showing a video. They have something super secret. Yeah, they have something super secret coming out, and that video is going to show it. There's a lot of super secret stuff on this SuperMeet that we just can't talk about. Yeah, like you said, Frame.io is super secret. Adobe is it's super secret because they're going to be showing the new stuff. Adamus is like really super secret, and it's got the Jeremy Young, the CEO, sent us the sort of the hype language of what they're going to be doing, and it's like jaw dropping is what they're going to be doing, and so that's going to be fun. So a lot of the stuff we can't talk about, but that's kind of typical of SuperMeet. They use the stage.
HP just submitted who they're going to have inviting on stage. Mike, if you can comment on that.
Yeah, that's Matt Carson. Matt Carson is an assistant editor. He's worked on several movies as well as Deadpool, the last Deadpool. I'm not sure if he's working on the current one or not. Anyway, he's going to be talking about creative stuff that he does with workflows. And so we're looking forward to that. So that won't be so super secret. At least we've got that to talk about. But right now there's a whole bunch of super secret stuff going to be happening, which is good because it keeps your interest, and it's not just about showing what's new stuff. And so I'm looking forward to hearing all the stuff that's going. I can't wait for the rehearsals. Then we'll find out what's going on.
One thing that I really like about what Blackmagic is doing is that they're going to have like an open forum, like Q&A session on stage, just to give a chance for people to ask the questions that they would like to ask, but might not be able to get to the show floor, or for whatever reason, we have some of the top people at Blackmagic. They'll be on stage.
Yeah, I mean, these are the top people. These are engineers and the designers of Resolve and Fairlight and Fusion, and people in the audience can ask questions. So there'll be some Monty Hall kind of guys running around with microphones, and anybody wants to ask a question could ask a question of these four experts. So that's going to be kind of fun. It's very going to be interactive, and it's not just watching stuff; it's participating. So it's going to be really cool.
Yeah, Mary Plummer will be representing Fairlight.
Yeah, and Paul Saccone is going to be there, which is great because we always love him. Peter Chamberlain and Rohit Gupta is going to be there, and I think he's one of the engineers. So there's going to be a lot of really smart people there on stage.
I know I found something interesting happening to me after I started attending SuperMeets. I would sit in the theater and I would stay through the end of the credits, and I'd see all the company names that had supplied equipment or everything, and you guys have got a good 70-80% of the ones that show up in those credits. So this is not just a bunch of indie filmmakers or people struggling to get into the business. These are the heavy hitters that put things up on your local movie screen, and the ones that get their films in Rotten Tomatoes and everything else. I mean, that never is lost on me. Just the fact that, again, this is not just the production people. I mean, this cuts across video production of every stripe.
So
go ahead.
It's really hard to, over the years, to be able to get to this level where we can invite people like Walter Murch and Dodie Dorn and other people on stage. And as a matter of fact, I love the story you told me, Mike, about how Dylan Tichenor decided to come on board once you told him who else has been on stage.
Yeah, we haven't even mentioned him yet. He's going to be our special guest. And, of course, if you're into movies, you know who he is. If you're not, you probably don't. But Dylan Tichenor is probably one of the most celebrated film editors working today. And he's done most all of Paul Thomas Anderson's movies, such as Boogie Nights and Magnolia, There Will Be Blood. He was Oscar nominated for that. Zero Dark 30. He did that. Brokeback Mountain, all these incredible movies for incredible directors. And anyway, we asked him, would he like to be on, the SuperMeet? And I had to drop a few names to say, well, Walter Murch has done it, and Dodie Dorn has done it, and Tom Wolfe has done it. I mean, Tom Rolfe has done it. And then he says, oh, okay, all right, yeah, I'll do it. So it wasn't too. I think we had to prove that we weren't serial killers.
Well, and too, I think a lot of us sort of shy away maybe from, well, what could I possibly learn from a film editor? I'm more interested in maybe some other aspects of it. And those have been some of my favorite talks at SuperMeets, because you get a little insight into how these people think.
Yeah.
And it sends you back to your own projects, no matter what they are, a little more informed, and with the idea that maybe I can get a little bit different look or create a little different atmosphere for my puny little project from these people that, again, do major motion pictures.
Yeah, if you saw last year's conversation with Dodie Dorn, great Dodie Dorn, it was Steve Hulfish, who was the moderator of that. He's going to be back this year moderating the conversation with Dylan Tichenor. So what they're going to be talking about, I have no idea, but it will be craft. And that's either interesting to you if you're a film editor, or you'll gain the information that you need to gain from this conversation about how we put all this stuff together, how we do our jobs, and especially when it's the best of the best, how they do their jobs. So that's really cool. And of course, that's what we all look forward to. Yeah, learn from the best.
They always enjoy being here as well with all the guests that are at the SuperMeet, those that come to the SuperMeet. So it's a great exchange of, hey, how you doing? Hello, and this is what I do. What do you do? That type of thing. And everyone always makes new friends while they're there. So,
and I have yet to walk up to anybody at a SuperMeet and introduce myself, or ask a question and have them blow me off, or say, get away from me, kid, you bother me. It is always such a welcoming thing, and people have. If you show genuine interest in what they're doing, they are going to show genuine interest in what you're doing. And that's kind of a rare thing.
That's it's also exactly what everyone needs to do, is the same thing that you are doing, because you put your hand out and say, hi, my name is, and you start talking to people. You can and will make relationships that are going to help you down the line. So this is a peer networking kind of events, and if you have the courage to go up to people, then you're going to get a lot out of it. If you don't, you're going to hope somebody like Chuck Joyner comes to you and says, hi, my name is, and starts a conversation, which makes you feel a little bit more comfortable being around all those people. Because as you know, creative people tend to hang in the corners or feel more comfortable behind their computers. And it's difficult for them to come and talk to people. But if they do, you never know who you're going to meet. So, and the kind of,
And there's always a great diverse crowd at the SuperMeets.
Yeah.
Students, people in the industry, people just trying to get into the industry, veterans, local people that traveled all over the world to come to NEB that are there. It's such a great experience. And that's why we love doing this at NEB every year, because it's a big community effort. And all we do is just add to the world's biggest show on earth, that is NAB, and we really add to the people that go into the convention center all day and they want to get out and do something. Well, we offer that opportunity in a really fun and educational setting. And yes, there is booze, and yes, there is food, and yes, there is over $100,000 in this year.
Nice.
We just made that today, just like this afternoon. Yeah, we just went over 100,000. We haven't put in the last big prize that is going to take us over to 100,000. But yeah, it's massive. It's huge. And tell you that even the prizes compared to last year is like, holy God, there's just some amazing stuff. It's
the tools change, the computers change. They're just as powerful, except they're smaller and detachable, and doesn't matter what type of computer you use, or there's software for every computer that allows you to create and express yourself. And I think it's fantastic.
Well, that's something else I think about NAB in general and the SuperMeet in particular, is this is not just a trade show. I mean, well, it is a trade show. You can go and spend your whole day walking the show floor and looking at hardware, but there's so many opportunities to learn. I mean, the post-production world track that I attend is the training is amazing. You know that. And
see, I would love to do that, but unfortunately, we have a SuperMeet to put on. But it's like, I would love to be able to do those classes.
I've been working for Canon for decades, but I can't do it anymore because the SuperMeet just takes so much of my energy that it's impossible for me to be on the show floor working and do the SuperMeet at the same time. So I miss that.
Yeah, I can. I can only imagine.
We live vicariously through the people that, like you, Chuck, that talk about how training's great, how you've met and interviewed other people. We certainly live vicariously through the people that win in the raffle, because to see their excited faces and how they plan on using what they get and all that, it's great.
Yeah.
That's the return on investment for, at least for me, and I'm sure Mike feels the same way. And
it is. It is fun. I mean, that's ultimately what this is all about. It's a networking event. It's supposed to be fun. And, the presentations on stage are great. You're going to learn something, but that's not what a SuperMeet's all about. And it is all about, what's that whole gathering thing. And like we've said many times before, what you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. And you'll keep coming back as long as you put something into it. And that's what we love, because there's those great stories of people who have been there 10 years ago and remember 10 years ago or 15 years ago, and they still keep coming back. And as long as they do, we'll keep it going.
MacVoices is sponsored by Smile at smilesoftware.com, the makers of world-class software for the Mac and iOS. PDF Pen by Smile is the one PDF utility you really need. In fact, PDF Pen is the only PDF utility you need. Why do you need a PDF utility? Just look at your Mac or your iPhone or your iPad. Check your email attachments. Everything comes to you in PDF format now because it isn't editable. Except that with PDF Pen, you can edit your PDFs, which makes them even more useful. But that's just where it starts. With PDF Pen, you can mark up your PDF documents just like on paper. Highlight text, draw on your PDF, even write notes and comments. Suddenly, handling your PDFs isn't a hassle, it's a pleasure. Sometimes, though, that's just not enough. PDF Pen can let you run optical character recognition on your PDFs to turn them back into text so it can be copied and moved to other programs as you wish, for whatever use you have. Or, use those features to search for what you're looking for and redact what you don't want seen. And this is no cover-up kind of redact. This is secure redacting so that no one is going to see what's hidden. PDF Pen can help you add, delete, or combine pages so that multiple documents become one, or one document becomes multiple. Or you can insert images or remove them if you wish. You can even add file and audio attachments to your PDF documents. I said that PDF Pen is the only PDF utility you will ever need, and that's true, unless you want to do more. Then you need PDF Pen Pro, which adds the ability to create and edit forms, turn whole websites into PDFs, create and edit tables of contents, create links from URLs, and even create PDF portfolios. If you count your iPhone and iPad in your productivity arsenal, Smile has you covered there too, with PDF Pen for iPad and iPhone, that delivers the most used features of the desktop version to iOS. Sign and fill out forms, edit pages, add passwords, and much more. There are so many features to the PDF Pen family of software that you really need to check it out for yourself and find out what it can do for you to make your life easier and more productive. To find that out, all you have to do is visit smilesoftware.com and download a free trial. Open a PDF, annotate it, edit it, redact it. Once you have a taste of that power, you're not going to want to go back to just reading PDFs. That's PDF Pen and PDF Pen Pro from Smile, the makers of world-class software. Visit them at smilesoftware.com and check out everything they have to offer to help you do more. Thanks to Smile for their support of MacVoices. Well, I know I've had that experience where I met somebody a few years ago. I'm not going to quite go back 10 years, but I met somebody a few years ago and, okay, so see you next year at the SuperMeet. And you do see them the next year at the SuperMeet.
Yeah, I know. It's really cool.
It is absolutely.
And it is fun for us because this is the only place we can see our friends. And it's that once a year thing. And we will see them maybe the day before, the night after the day after the SuperMeet, and some of them will go out to the pepper mill after the show, and have a little relaxation after the SuperMeet. But that's the only, that means probably more to us than anything. It's just getting back together with those friends you don't see except once a year.
Yeah, renewing the connections, renewing the friendships.
Yeah.
So we have the table sponsors that start the evening out. Then we have how'd you say it, Mike? The limited stage time, or
we have what they call the stage presentation. So the actual SuperMeet doors, they'll open up at 5 o'clock or 4:30 or so. Whenever you want to get there, just go. And it's going to be over 20. There's probably I haven't counted all of them. There's over 20 hardware and software sponsors. We've just talked about a few of them, and that's where you want to hang out. You want to go to every one of them. You want to see what they're doing, talk to them, and then you want to just hang out with each other. So eat a little bit of food and drink a little bit of drink, and then the stage presentations start at 7. And it's all super secret stuff.
Right. And then you take a break, and then you come back with sort of the feature presentation.
Yeah, then you take a break and you eat cookies. I think we have cookies. I'm really sure.
Sounds good.
We haven't done the menu yet, or haven't figured out the menu yet because the prices went. So we might have to go from pastries to cookies. So I'm not sure what it's good.
Every year it gets just more and more expensive. Pull it up every year.
Sure.
Yes.
And we're only pulling it out through the value and the great appreciation from our sponsors.
Yeah.
So.
And then to wrap the evening up, you do the raffle.
That's the raffle. Yep, and that's right. Like we just said, once we put up that prize, we're going to be over $101,000 today. $100,000.
Probably put it up. Is it
up?
Over 102,000. So one thing that Mike was talking about is get there at 4:30 or whenever. But right. 500 people that make it through the SuperMeet doors before 6 p.m. or whichever comes first get a ticket for our door prize raffle. And for the past few years, HP has been very good to do a door prize raffle with us. This year, they are giving away an HP ZBook Studio X2, which has a value of close to $6,000. And they're giving away another, I want to call it super secret, but we can't really say anything about it yet. And that's just for people that get there before 6 p.m.
Right.
If you want to be eligible, make sure you get there in time, and you get the benefit of being there early and networking with everyone. And so
the odds are really really good if you get there before 6 o'clock, and that you might win this prize. And this is a totally just specced out laptop. I mean, it's got everything in it. They threw the whole. It's like all the top stuff. When you get a laptop for $5,600, this thing's loaded, and this is loaded, just completely loaded. And
videos on it, and it's pretty cool.
It comes apart and stuff. It's really neat. So I know you're an old Mac guy, and a lot of people are Mac guys, but there's a lot of people who are video editors or They like the iron power of these HPs.
Sure. Well, so let's talk about because it's the other thing that I always want to stress each year is it's not that expensive to attend this. With all this, with the raffle, with the food, the drink, the whole bit, all these great speakers, and yet I don't know how you make out at all, because I'm just waiting for the whole thing to collapse on itself because you just don't charge enough for me to come and enjoy all this stuff.
Yeah, that's
it's our what do you call it? It's our mission. It's part of our.
Yeah.
We agreed early on that we're not trying to, we want to provide anyone's going to go to their hotel and buy like a $7 to $10 latte from Starbucks. But, for $10 or $15 or $20 at the door, you get a whole night and you get chances to win, make new friends, see some great, amazing stuff on stage, and just have a really good time.
Yeah, the reason we can charge these prices is because the sponsors are pretty much paying for the show, and it's just important to Dan and I. It's always been important to Dan and I that it has to remain affordable, because there's a lot of indie filmmakers who come to these things who have no money. They've saved up their money to go to NAB. They've crammed into a crappy hotel room at Circus, or there's some have actually slept in their cars. And so these are the kind of people you're dealing with. Yeah, there's a lot of wealthy people, but a lot of them aren't. And those are the kind of people that we're trying to cater to. And everybody gets the benefit of low prices. And hopefully we can keep it that way. But it's getting ridiculously expensive. And so we'll see.
What I love is seeing people who have been to our past 5 SuperMeets, and every year we connect with them. They seem to be doing better for themselves, and they're advancing their skills and all that. They're moving. I kind of feel like we have some hand in that by enabling. We're big enablers here to people that want to learn to create and do it. And so that's one of the great return on the investments for us when we meet the people that come here continuously, and they come here. To them, Tuesday night is SuperMeet night at NEB. And
I mean, the stuff that just out there on the tables in the vendor area, the software and the hardware, it is so inexpensive to and that it helps solve all of your problems. Anybody can do this stuff as long as they have a little talent, and but the affordability is there. I mean, there's just no excuses. You can go out and make a Hollywood feature with the stuff that you're going to find at the SuperMeet, and it's not a lot of money. So all you have to have is the desire, the talent, the good storytelling skills. And then you go here and gather this stuff and meet the people who can collaborate with you. The sky's the limit.
Well, I know I've picked up some tips and tricks and some software solutions at SuperMeets that have solved problems for this meager little production. And if I can pick it up for this, if you have bigger aspirations and if you're dedicating more time to it,
absolutely. If your aspirations are to do a feature film, Chuck, go and do it, because it's all there. Yeah. It's just all there.
Yeah, we talk about it so much, and I'm afraid that some of us, and especially maybe some of the younger people, are starting to take it for granted that we have this power in our cell phones and our Macs and our PCs and everything. And what it used to cost hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, now you can do something pretty darn comparable in your den.
Pretty darn comparable. I mean, there was an article in Variety, Daily Variety today, of 12 movies that have been shot on iPhones, from the iPhone 4 to the iPhone 7, and these are high quality, very good movies, short films and feature films, and all shot on an iPhone. From Steven Soderbergh to Sean Baker and everywhere in between. So there is no excuse, and it looked great.
I can't wait to see Steven Soderbergh's film, and he probably used some of the tools that we have and we're giving away, like the iOgrapher. And
I know. It's again. I told you about the change in habits for my movie watching, but I also now when I do watch TV, I don't want to watch as much as I used to, but when I do, especially on the news programs, I will see transitions and fades and graphics, and it's like, I know what did that. I saw them at the SuperMeet last year. So it
has all these plugins that make your life easier. Yeah. It's like all these amazing plugins. Yeah. I mean, there's just a lot of really creative people out there giving us creative solutions for, and it's not all that canned stuff. And plus the solutions are stuff that you can kind of futz with and make it your own. Or if you can just say, well, these guys are smarter than I am, I'll just use their stuff. But it's great. It just gets better and better and better and more affordable, cheaper, and it's amazing.
Yeah. Okay, so Dan, what were you saying? 15 in advance, 20 at the door? Is that right?
Right now, yes. So now at this time, it's $15 online. And we totally encourage people, if you hear this, go and register online now, because it helps us with the food count. It really helps us to put on a better show when we know how many people are coming. Of course, you can show up at the door and pay $20, but why not save?
But why?
Why? And plus, we have a MacVoices VIP discount code of
Actually, yeah, I was just looking it up, and it's MacVoice VIP. So it's MacVoice VIP is the discount code. Hopefully you can put it up there, and that'll save you $5 when you register. So anybody who's listening to this, and if you've already listened to this far, it's MacVoice VIP. That'll save you $5. You can use it to buy 3 extra raffle tickets, and you can win one of these hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of prizes. And actually, Chuck could probably use the Ursa broadcast camera, and which is the body only. But so you got to go get a lens. But there's some really good stuff in there, Chuck, that'll make that little studio of yours hum.
I love the idea. And of course, you can find out about all the exhibitors, all the speakers, everything, or at least as much as they can tell you right now, at supermeet.com. That's where you go to use the discount code. Get in, save a couple bucks, and see Mike, see Dan, see me in Las Vegas.
Yeah, it's so much fun, and I know there's a lot of people that watch you religiously, and they can get a lot out of this whole video world that we put on for them, because some of this stuff will be over their heads, but a lot of it won't. It'll be just a lot of really fascinating stuff, and they'll get a lot out of it.
Yeah, but you know what, Mike? I'm glad you brought that up, because yeah, a lot of this stuff is over my head. There's no question about it. But that's how.
Well, it's over my head.
Yeah, but that's how you learn. You go and you expose yourself to this stuff, and maybe you see something that resonates with you, and then you go and ask somebody, "Hey, could you explain that to me?" And they will. And that's what the whole thing is about.
Well, as the wise man said, just remain intensely curious, and you can take over the world. But you have to remain curious, because there's a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of questions to be answered, and there's a lot of answers there at the SuperMeet, especially if you're into this kind of stuff. And who isn't? Who doesn't want to tell stories visually? You just have to get started. Push yourself through that front door at the tickets, and talk to people and talk to yourself and get started, because you want to make a movie. You want to tell your story, and all you can do it with this thing. And it's going to look awesome. Yeah,
absolutely.
So it's really neat.
Well, that's I will share this much, and then I'll let you guys go. But that's what I've been using at NAB and CES. I use primarily an iPad as my camera.
You put it on like a monopod or something,
well,
right?
No, I'm using a tripod this year, but
okay.
And mount it in an iographer frame, and I'm shooting 4K. And the only reason I don't use the iPhone is because I need the battery life that comes with the larger battery in an iPad. But it's a phenomenal movie-making tool or video-making tool. And, man, you can afford it because you probably already got the iPad sitting right beside you right now.
We're giving away 2 iographer backpacks.
Ooh.
Where you can put your iographers in the backpack. It's actually a really cool backpack. It's right behind me. And we're also giving away 5 iographers for the iPhone 6, 7, and 8, and 5 iographers for the 6 Plus, 7 Plus, and 8 Plus.
There.
So if you want to change up your iographers, buy a raffle ticket, Chuck.
Yeah.
I use one of those for my iPhone 8, and I love using it. It's so ergonomically balanced to be able to shoot at long times. You can mount anything on it, and it's great.
Yeah.
My wife uses it, and she loves it, and everybody surrounding her, she can end up selling like a dozen of those things, because everybody who sees it, what is that thing? I want that.
Yep. I had more pictures taken of my rig at CES than I did of me. It's like, hey, could you tell me what that is and where'd you get it? And how much does it cost? Yeah. And I end up doing. I got to talk to him about a sponsorship or something, because I swear I sell as many
You should. I know. It's
You
like,
know.
that's what I told my wife. She said, we should maybe talk to him about a sponsorship.
He would be receptive to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see the.
Dave will probably be at the SuperMeet. I think he's going to be there. Dave Solta.
Yeah.
Like,
He usually shows up somewhere in Vegas.
Yeah, he'll be somewhere in Vegas.
Yeah.
Maybe at the Peppermill.
have you checked out the new Adamus, the 19-inch HDR?
Oh God, that just happened yesterday.
Yeah, I can't wait.
That's what Chuck needs. Chuck needs this HDR monitor and recorder from Adamus. It's 19 inches.
Wow.
Hold that big sucker. You can direct daylight. You know, it's incredibly bright, and we're giving away 2 of those.
2 of them.
We're giving away 2 of the recorder versions and 2 of the regular monitor.
Regular monitor, but God, they're just so bright, so beautiful. And then we're giving away 2 Shogun Infernos, which are the 7-inch ones. That's a monitor recorder, I believe. Yeah. Recorder monitor. But yeah, they just gave us $11,500 worth of stuff yesterday.
Nice problem to have. Nice.
I go, that was a boatload of love.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
And again, that goes straight to the attendees and who buy tickets, might I say?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Buy a raffle ticket.
Well, Dan Bérubé, Mike Horton, thanks so much for the time as always. I look forward to seeing you both in a couple of weeks at the SuperMeet.
Yeah, me too.
SuperMeet.com, that's where you go. And the discount code is MacVoicevip.
MacVoicevip.
Got it.
MacVoicevip. And that'll save you $5, and then you can use it for raffle prizes.
I'll have everything in the show notes.
All right, we'll see you early, so you get that chance to win that HP laptop.
Count on it. I'll be interviewing people.
Okay. Thanks so much for having us again. It's always something we look forward to.
I look forward to it as well. Dan?
Chuck, thank you. Whenever we do these, it's a sign that we're doing okay, because we're at a milestone where almost everything is together and now we can really start promoting it. So it's a sigh of relief for both Mike and I, and thank you so much for allowing us to come on your show.
It's always fun, and I wish you luck in your interstellar journeys there, Dan. Folks, I'm Chuck.
My orange walls.
Folks, I'm Chuck Joyner. This is Mac Voices. I will be at the SuperMeet and NAB. I hope you will be. If you are, and if I am, come up to me. If I don't come up to you first. Until the next time, and as always, thanks for watching. Visit macvoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Mac Voices Facebook group, and get more out of your Apple Tech with Mac Voices magazine, free on Flipboard. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us at patreon.com/MacVoices and join these folks who help keep Mac Voices coming to you. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CashFly at cashfly.com.